Gaza War Day 218. I'm going to do something different, just an extremely short video on one piece of reporting that I saw, which is Ralph Nader. I saw a tweet from Ralph Nader where he estimates that the death toll from the Israeli genocide in Gaza is much, much higher um, than people think. So I'm just going to show you Joe Emmersberger's retweet. Joe says, despite the idiotic and cowardly attack that Nader makes on Hamas in this thread, Nader's points about the death toll in Gaza are valid as shown by scientific mortality studies that were done in Iraq. So what is Nader saying? Nader thinks that over 200,000 Palestinians, not 35,000, have already died since October. This is based on nearly 100,000 bombs and missiles directly on civilians without food, water, medicine, electricity, healthcare, and World Health casualty projections starting last October. The 35,000 official fatality count is absurd. No human being could endure those massacres and related untreated diseases. Biden's own humanitarian aid envoy stated weeks ago there is an imminent risk of starvation for the majority, if not all, of the 2.2 million population of Gaza. This is not a point of debate, it is an established fact. Ultimately, unless something changes, the world faces the prospect of almost a quarter of Gaza's 2 million population, close to 500,000 human beings dying within a year. These would be largely deaths from preventable health causes and the collapse of the medical system. It's a crude estimate, but one that is data-driven using the terrifyingly real numbers of deaths in previous and comparable conflicts. That's Professor Devi Sridhar Nader's quoting from The Guardian. And then this is where Joe takes umbrage, and I have to agree with Joe here. He says, why the vast undercount of Palestinian fatalities kept at 35,000? Hamas keeps the figures low. I don't think so. To avoid being further accused of inability to protect their own people and provide shelters. As I've said many times, there's no protecting people from an army like Israel that is trying to do nothing but kill civilians. And then Nader says, which is probably true, Netanyahu blocks U.S. Western and not probably, this is true. Netanyahu blocks U.S. Western and Israeli journalists from finding out the true scope of the slaughter. Putting it all on Netanyahu is absurd, of course, but it's Nader. The scope of the slaughter by free reporting. Over 200,000 dead, the rest of the population sick, injured, or dying. So basically he's saying they dropped 100,000 bombs. They didn't drop the bombs not to kill people. And if each bomb killed one person, then we have 100,000. But if we assume very conservatively that each bomb Israel drops on civilians to try to kill civilians, killed two people, then that's how you get a different estimate. So the Palestinian Ministry of Health in Gaza says daily statistical report of the number of martyrs and wounded for the 218th day. The total of the Israeli aggression has risen to 34,971, so 35,000, as Nader says, and 78,641 injuries since the last 7th of October. So that is 100,000 plus, but I think Nader is making it's a reasonable estimate also. Not reasonable, but plausible, let's say. And it's shocking, and it kind of shocked me, and I thought I should share it because it's just been disturbing me a lot that we could be talking about 35,000 when the reality is already 200,000 and headed for 500,000. And when you think about that, you think, yeah, it's unthinkable, and because it struck me today, I'm sharing it with you. I don't know what you think about that, but I'm just gonna leave it there. Tomorrow I'll do more reporting on the military situation and all the usual things that happen in a sit rep. I just wanted to share that with you, see what you think, and see what you think of Nader's estimate and what kind of sense it makes to you, and whether that you find that as whether that shakes you up as much or like leaves you as shaken as it leaves me. All right, I'll stop there.